So we need to UV map that. All right. Now I could use PLG make UV, but it's no good. It's more for organic stuff. And the same goes for ABF UV unwrap. What to do? What to do? Well, you basically see what I did already. I have a map here. And what I did is I used the old-fashioned planner projection in the set. I'll call it something like this. Wheel part 1. And that's it. Right, great. That's it really. That's, well, the start. But what does it look like? UV checkerboard like that, shape pattern, you'll find it on the web. Okay, so let's have a look at this. You can see that while it looks great from the front, it looks beautiful, it looks correct. Looking at it from the side, you'll see that all these guys are stretched, right? All of those are stretched. And that's how it is. So we need to try to not eliminate it, but we need to try to make that much less, much more or less subtle. Okay. I think I'll just start. I'll just start down here actually. So you can see that we got some major stretching here. And you would think that, hey, because that's large, maybe I need to make this, or it seems that you have to move these polys up here, right? So then you would think, oh, okay, if I need to move those polys up here, and that would be the same thing in the UV map. So I'll move them up, but then no, you get more stretching. You actually have to move them down to get more info into that area. So be aware of that. Okay, so what I can do now is I can loop that and I can actually scale it with action center selection. Actually, I get a pretty decent pattern by doing that. It's not too bad. In fact, I think it's good enough for this small tutorial. So I'm going to stretch it down to, what, 65% maybe? Or should it be more? 60? Let's leave it at 60. And this one, I'm actually going to do the same thing here. Instead of trying to relax and stuff, I'm actually going to just scale it down to, well, let's set this one to 60 as well. Now, too bad you can't scale all of this at once, but we'll take one-on-one action center selection, scale tool, and to 60%. If it's not exactly 60%, it's not all that important really. Okay. This is basically just roughly. And now this is not, I'll show you later on, but this is not going to look, this UV map is not going to look great. It's going to look okay. If you want to look great, it's actually a good idea to go into a 3D paint program and paint on the texture there instead of projecting it on like you would in a normal 3D application. Because if you paint, then you can actually paint away the areas where you get stretching. That will not always work. For example, if you have a lot of pattern, if you have a pattern as a texture, that's not going to work very well. But for rocks and stuff and scratches, that's going to work great. Okay, Also, for example, UV 3D Code has some great UV tools. Okay, so I actually just scale these guys down. That's all I did, and it looks better. It's less stretching. It's not 100%, but it's better. And also, this is a pattern, so it's much easier to see, well, the glitch. So, the stretching. If you make something else, if you have a rock texture or scratcher or something like that, it's not going to be that visible. It's not going to be that noticeable. Okay, let's take these guys as well, and I could scale these guys individually. Let's see what we got here. Need to go like that as well. Yeah, and then we're just going to deselect this and that. All right. Now again, I can't stretch or scale these guys individually, but what I'll do here is I'll just scale this down quite a bit actually. Something like 40%. And then I'll use Snap Drag tool with connected points. And I'll actually just move these guys out back to where they were. They don't need to be in the 100% exact position as they should have been if you scale them, but just eyeball it and try to make it look correct, and it looks pretty good. It's good enough. So now you can see that, all right, so that we've got much less stretching here now after having done that. Okay, so what does this look like if I tap? If I tap, it looks like that, all right? It looks okay. I think I'm going to pump this up just slightly. You can see that some of this, for example, if I set it to 1, you'll see that some of this is actually sub-D artifacts. So if you put that up to 4, you'll see that some of that is gone. Eliminate some of that, but not everything. So I guess we could try to relax this a bit. But actually what I'm going to do, before I do that, I'm actually going to use another texture here. I'm going to use metal scratches. So now you can see that this stuff is not that obvious anymore. It's not just obvious actually in some places like this. This is where we need to, and here as well, we need to fix that. We're going to relax it. We're going to relax this meshy. Yeah, what I was going to do now, I'm getting tired, very tired. What I was going to do is, I'm going to relax this. The thing is that if I use PLG relax, sometimes it just bugs or it won't work. So it's kind of like, if you're just going to use that a couple of times, then it's okay. But just be aware that that bugs at times, you know. So I found that I could use Mike Green's UV Relax, and it also works on Mac. So hey, that even makes them Mac people tremble. Okay, so let's just try this one. I have no idea. 4, 2, maybe 1. Actually, yeah, you can see that this is better, isn't it? It's a lot better than it used to be. So let's undo that. Well, actually, it's not a lot better, but it's better. Let's try another value. Also, what I like about mic greens is that you can use the poly selection. And it will relax that area instead of your relax where you have to take the poly selection, you got to convert it to points, and then you got to invert the point selection, and then you got to go all over again. I don't like that. Mic greens is much better in that regard. Okay. Also, PLG or Relax UV is buggy at times. So anyway, let's try to, I don't know, 2, 4. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Not bad, huh? Much better. You can see it blurs here though. But you gotta have one or the other. It might be better actually. It might be better to take this one as well. I'm not quite sure about that. So let's run that with the same values, and that one selected as well. It's kind of hard to say. Well, that's a new plugin for you, I guess. Mic greens, UV Relax. Might very well be an idea to check that out. Yeah, it seems actually it's better to just do that. Again, you're going to get some stretching here. It's just not possible not to do it. You are going to get stretching. That's that. But we can minimize it. Now this stretching here, this edge right here, it's going to be merged together with another part of the wheel, so don't worry about this too much, at least for now. Okay. And I'm going to use the same value. And it looks great. Thank you, Mike. I think he needs a king smiley for this one. Yeah. Actually, it does have a donate page as well. If you want to donate $1 or $2 or $3 or $4 or $20 to his webpage. If you can afford it. Most can. So don't be lame. Donate. Yeah, I think I'm getting quite satisfied with this. It does take some time though. Then again, I haven't UV mapped something like this in ages. So that's that. Getting closer maybe. And this one is okay. Yeah, so there we go. Nice, very nice. Texture wire, just texture. And look at it. Again, don't mind this down here. You're gonna fix that later on. I think I'm just gonna leave this video for now, actually. Because, well, I basically showed you several techniques and how to make this work. I hope it was useful because, well, I haven't really done this all that much before. And again, we'll relax this. It's actually also, if you want to relax something, or if you want to select an edge like that, it might actually be better for you to jump to subdue mode, actually, just to be able to select that edge. If you can't loop it, well, actually, no, I could, but if you can't, then sometimes it's just a bit better to jump to subpatch mode. Okay, let's relax some more. I don't think this is not all that bad, actually, is it? Oh, okay, we got some stretching here. You relax 4-2. Okay, seems to be a magic number. So we're just gonna go with that. Maybe now I can do that for several. Yeah. Much better. So I think we finished this part, at least. There are, I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm going to cover the other parts. It's basically doing, using the same techniques. Yeah, for the other parts as well. For this one, same stuff, same technique. For this one, well, you could do that. You could do this manually. I mean, just call that VP3 and have that in set, but we're not going to do that in plane. We're going to do that in cylindrical. Create. Okay. So not too bad. Now it's made, so let's have a look. Actually, I need to call this something else then. I need to call this, well, why not just call that the same thing? I'm not quite sure why that happened. It's probably some polygons here that are not arranged the proper way. Let's see, detail. It's called align, and there we go. Yep, that's good. That fixed it. Now this, as default, should be renamed VP1. Okay, so 3 UV map, VP3. I could go with that one for now. Actually, I'm going to go with double-sided on that one, at least for now, just to, So the question here now is, okay, that's like that. And I can stretch this just by hand, but I guess I could just relax this UV map as well. The question is, well, how are you going to go about it? Let's take a look at this one. It's kind of hard to say just how to fix that. But you can kind of see how this works, It's about stretching the polygons and making it right. As far as relaxing the whole shebang, I don't know. Let's try something like that. now it went to hell. So yeah, it doesn't always work. I mean, sometimes you just gotta think about what you're doing, and that's that. Again, this is not how it should be, but yeah. Anyway, also it's not going to be that bad once you change that texture for something else, for example metal scratches. It's not going to be that visible. Now you'll have to, in Photoshop or something like that, remove this scene. There are tutorials out there on that, how to make a what? I think it's called tileless pattern. Seamless pattern, that's what it's called. This became a long tutorial preview. Anyway, I'm getting tired. I need to quit. I need to wrap this up. So I think you pretty much see what's going on here and how you can go about it. Of course, you can mix this. You can mix these scratches with another node. So, for example, you could just use the scratch information here and use that together with some other node texture, some other metal node. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.